Yeah, just cover it.
What up, fellow stunt riders? Groovy Stunts here with you again with another how-to video. Today's how-to is going to be your basic wheelie and how-to wheelie. And I know a lot of people will put their videos or their pictures of them attempting wheelies and all that, and you're going to get in the comment section, cover your brake. Just make sure you're covering your brake. There's more to it than just cover your brake. Just covering your brake is not going to save your ass from looping if you don't know how to actually use that brake. So by people saying cover your brake, you're not learning crap from that. So I'm here today to break it down to you what really covering the brake means. So what we're gonna do, actually what I'm gonna explain to you and what you're gonna do is you're gonna go out there and focus on using your brake during a wheelie, but not an actual balance point wheelie. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna ride out a wheelie like you normally do, but you're gonna add brake by pushing your pedal down to see what that brake does in a wheelie. So what you gotta train yourself for is that muscle memory. So that way, when it comes to the point where you're actually in balance point and you need to use a brake, your body automatically does it for you. And that's what muscle memory is. And you will gain that over time and with the practice and the practice. And I'm gonna give you some tips and advice on how to do that and work on muscle memory for your brakes. And that goes for handbrake or foot brake. So anyways, if you think just covering the brake is gonna do anything for you, you're wrong. You're gonna fuck up. What you're gonna get is called the dangler, and the dangler is when you hit that balance point feeling, it's gonna be a whole new world for you. It's gonna feel different. The bike's gonna float, and that's what balance point is that window of that floatiness of you staying in a wheelie. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna hit that balance point, get off the gas, and the bike is still gonna be doing a wheelie, and you're gonna freak out because it's a new feeling. And what's gonna happen? You're gonna do a dangler. Your legs are gonna come off the pegs, and you're gonna have the chance of looping and getting hurt, messing your bike up. We don't want that. So I'm here today to explain to you a little better on what covering the brake actually means and how to utilize it and show you ways onto gaining that muscle memory. Let's get into it. All right, so the start of a clutch up wheelie, right as you begin, you're gonna come up to almost like a controlled stop. You could roll a little bit, don't be rolling fast though. So you're on your bike, you're going, your clutch right here, you pull it in, and you're gonna give it gas and release clutch at the same time. So simultaneously, like bop, bop, bop. So what that's gonna cause is once you let go of that clutch and you give it gas, your front end is gonna come up, and when it comes up, you're gonna be on the gas a little bit. Don't smash that gas. You don't want to loop out, go right into 12. So clutch up, give it a little gas, and try to hold your throttle there. You're gonna start with baby steps. So you're gonna start a little bit off the ground, and then get a little higher, and get a little higher, and get a little higher to the point where you're riding balance point. Also, whichever one you're most comfortable with, you can start with sit down wheelies or staggered position, which is standing. So whichever one will work best for you. If you want, you can try both and see how they feel for you. I'd like to mention too, you might want to ride with low PSI on your rear tires so your bike's not all over the place. It'll help a lot in the beginning of learning all this. So when you clutch up to the wheelie height that you're comfortable at the moment, what I want you to do is when you come up, press down on your brake and feel what the brake does to the wheelie as you're wheeling. So what you're gonna feel is when you clutch up and you're wheeling, you press down on that brake, that front end is gonna come back down, or it's gonna roughly prevent you from coming up as much as you want to. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna constantly be playing with that and seeing how that brake interacts with your wheelie. The whole point on covering your brake is so when you feel that feeling of hitting balance point, you get uncomfortable because it's a new feeling for you and you kind of scare yourself, you're gonna tap that brake and save yourself from wrecking. And that's the best possible scenario. Unlike the worst possible scenario is you take your feet off, you do the dangler, and game over. The first step into muscle memory, because what you want to feel is how is that brake affecting your wheelie. So by hitting your brake, it's going to bring you back down. So later on, after some practice and you feel out that brake and what it's doing and whatnot, you're going to be a little less on the brake. So you're going to get a little higher. So as you get a little higher and you start feeling a little more comfortable, start doing the same thing a little bit over and over, just so you get the feeling and you start building that muscle memory. As you learn to get higher, what you're going to do is you're going to start feathering the brake a little bit, which feathering means is you're going to press it just enough where your rotor is making contact with your pads. So what that means is you're going to have slight pressure on the pads to the rotor. So that'll kind of teach you a little bit of smoothness, at the same time show you braking power and how to use your brake in a wheelie. As you're learning your brake and you're learning wheelies and you're trying to understand what the braking does, you're gonna come to a time where you might experience brake fade. And what brake fade is, you're riding the brake so much that it is constantly rubbing on your rotor, and that's gonna cause it to get hot, and your oils in your caliper is going to boil, and what's going to happen is you're going to lose brake pressure. And if you lose brake pressure and you need to recover from a wheelie, the brake's not going to be there to save you. You're going to loop out for sure. So keep that in mind. You might catch brake fade, because as you're learning, you're going to tend to use the brake a lot, and that might be a possibility. So as you get better and you get higher and whatnot, you're going to start understanding that you're not going to need as much brake as you really think you do. So you're going to start learning to be off the brake a little more. When you start to understand what the braking does for your wheelie, you're not going to necessarily be hitting it hard anymore. What you're going to start doing is feathering. And what feathering means is you put enough pressure on the pedal where you know your brake pads are making contact with your rotor and have a slight grab to it. Not a very heavy grab, but a slight to it. That's what feathering means. And to the guys that already almost at balance point, if not just right at it, when you feather the brake, that's going to help you on control as well. So also when you hit deep balance, you know, you're not going to bring your foot off the peg, because now you have confidence in your braking and what it does. So before looping out and getting scared and take your feet off the pegs, your instinct is going to be now to hit your brake and save you from looping out. So slow, controlled roll, clutch up, ride her out. Slow, controlled roll, clutch, ride her out. You're going to continue to do that. You're going to learn how to get a little higher and higher each time. See, what you're seeing is I'm not going 100 miles per hour chasing the wheelie. So controlled flow, clutch, ride it out some. And when I mean chase a little bit, that's exactly what I mean. Chase a little bit. I'm not saying chase the whole wheelie down the whole lot and try to save it or hit balance point. That's no good. It's gonna cause you to go down. You can get really hurt doing that. Slow, clutch. If you notice my throttle hand, I'm not chopping on the throttle. So once you clutch up and you let go, kind of keep it at that same fixed position you dump the clutch at, and kind of ride it out a little bit. Look at my throttle hand once I do it. If you start chopping, your wheelie is just going to come back down, especially at the height I'm doing it at. Plus, you don't want that habit. So slow roll, clutch. Now once you get the baby step out of the way and you know how to do a clutch up wheelie the way I'm showing you right now, then you're gonna start incorporating your brake. So now I'm gonna do a clutch up the same way I was just doing it, but I'm gonna hit my brake to see what kind of effect I get. See how it just slammed me back down? Your brake is your, not only is it important in a wheelie and you're constantly using it in a wheelie, but it's also important to save you. So once you hit balance point, you're not gonna freak out and do the leg dangler and wreck. You're gonna save yourself because your body is gonna tell you, I need to hit that brake and save myself from this feeling. Because once you hit balance point, it's gonna be a whole new feeling for you. So you're gonna wanna be ready for it. So I'm gonna do that again and see how the brake affects me. See, she just wants to bring the front end right back down. So you're gonna practice that over and over and over until you understand what that brake does for you in a wheelie. Well, that's the end of this tutorial on how to wheelie. I hope my instructions and teaching of you guys on how to properly use the brake, how to properly cover the brake and what that really means. I hope you guys put it to effect and you guys gain that muscle memory that I'm speaking of. And most importantly, when you're out there, have fun doing it. Don't make it a job. Don't make it a chore. Don't try to do it to impress people. Do it because you love to do it. I mean, stunt riding means everything to me. I do it because I love to do it. No other reason. So I'm here to help you guys on your stunt journey. And hopefully you guys watch my videos and hopefully it helps you guys out on your stunt journey. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from others as well. And then there's also times where I've been trying to find help when I started and I couldn't really find anything, or you know, detailed description on how to properly do certain things. So I figured I'd start doing it for you guys and helping the stunt community out that are learning and want to know how to do things and what tricks and the best methods from my experience, that is. And hope it helps you guys out. At the end of the video, you're gonna see a link for my previous how to idle wheelie, and if you guys are at that stage, go ahead and check that out and see what's up. I will be making a series on how to circle, and I'm gonna break it down to the beginning of circles, which are recons, and it's gonna, the next video after that is gonna be how to close in your recons, and then the final video to that series is gonna be tight circles. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad you guys are watching. Go out there, have fun, and kick some ass.